Welcome back to the Gizmo, part 2. The gizmo is like a guilty conscience. You can't get rid of it. Just when you think everything is all right, there it is again, making you feel bad. I stand on the bridge and look down onto the tracks. A train is coming, a goods train pulling carriages filled with coal. I take out the gizmo and hold it out over the tracks. The train roars by way below. Goodbye, I say. I let the gizmo drop. It spins down and falls into an open coal carriage. Straight away, I start to feel better. Now I can go home and forget about one of the worst days of my life. Tomorrow is a school day. Floggart will want his spanner back. Too bad. He ran off and left me to face the security guard. If he calls me a wimp, I will have a few things to say to him. I start to make a speech in my mind. Floggart, I say to myself, you are a coward. You ran away and left me to get caught. I know really that I will never say this to Floggart, because he is too big and tough and will flatten me if I even blink an eyelid at him. Still, it doesn't hurt to dream. My daydream is suddenly interrupted. I feel something in my pocket. Oh no, the gizmo! It is covered in coal dust. It is back, and it is mine forever. There is just no getting rid of it. Maybe if I press the on button again, it will go away. Carefully, I put my thumb on the button and press it. The gizmo starts to hum very softly, but nothing else happens. It is very disappointing. Then after about 20 seconds, it gives a loud beep and falls quiet. A tall man who is jogging along in a tracksuit gives me a stare as he goes by. He looks a bit funny in his outfit. Red and yellow socks don't really go with purple pants. He looks about as silly as I feel. What am I going to do with the gizmo? It can't stay in my pocket for the rest of my life. And what about when I have a shower? What will happen to it then? Will it stay stuck to me, or will it stay in the pocket of my jeans? I decide to find out. I reach home and sneak in the back door and up to my bedroom. I pull off my jeans and throw them with the gizmo into the corner. Now we will see whether or not it stays in the pocket. It does. Nothing happens. But something is wrong. Something is not quite right. I'm wearing a pair of red socks with a yellow band, but mine don't have a yellow band. The hair starts to stand up on the back of my head. Where did these socks come from? I'm sure that I was wearing plain ones this morning. This is nutty, really weird. What is going on here? I have to get away from this gizmo. It is driving me crazy. I pull on my jeans and go out into the backyard. I get a spade and start to dig. The ground is hard. After an hour of digging, I have only made a shallow hole. I keep going. The sweat pours down my face. My fingers are blistered. I have never worked this hard before in my life. Finally, the hole is as deep as the handle of the shovel. I drop the gizmo into the bottom of the hole and shovel in dirt like mad. Just to be on the safe side, I toss in a couple of rocks. Then I stand back and look. The gizmo is gone, dead and buried. I decide to say a few words over the burial plot. I mean, it is a sort of funeral. It's only right and proper to say something. I bow my head. Gizmo, I say, rest in peace, and let me live in peace. I know I should not have stolen you, but I have learnt my lesson. You stay down there, and I will stay up here. Amen. I walk out of the gate and down to the shops. I feel a lot better, until I hear a soft buzzing noise. I pat my pocket and feel the gizmo inside. It is all covered in dirt and humming softly. Shoot, I say with a grin. The gizmo is back. I feel like I am having a terrible nightmare. There is a big man standing nearby. He is huge and tough looking. He stares at me as if I am a bit mad, talking to myself like that. Suddenly, two things happen. The gizmo beeps and the tough guy falls to the ground and starts screaming. He is yelling and howling in agony. He's pulling at his feet, trying to get his shoes off. Ouch! Ow! Ah! He pulls off one shoe and then starts on the next, but it won't budge. What has happened to the poor guy? I've had a stone or two in my own shoes, but I've never carried on like this. His face is screwed up in agony. Tears are squeezing out of his eyes. Get it off! Get it off! He yells. He is waving his shoe at me as if it is filled with hot lead. I rush over and grab his shoe. It is on tight. Terribly, horribly tight. The laces are undone, but the shoe won't budge. I pull and strain and struggle. Suddenly it comes off with a pop, and I fall over backwards. I look at the shoe. Then I drop it in fright. A cold feeling comes all over me. The shoe is about 10 times too small for his huge foot. I have seen a shoe like this before. It's like my own. It is my own. I stare down at my feet. I am wearing a pair of boots that are about 10 sizes too big for me. And I am not the only one staring at them. The big guy grabs me and lifts me up by the ankles. I'm hanging there like a dead chook. He shakes me up and down, pulls off the boots and drops me onto my head. It hurts like crazy. The big guy stomps off down the road. I don't know how you did that, he says, but it wasn't funny. Not funny at all. I pick up my own shoes and put them back on. He was right. This is not a funny situation. I am in big trouble. I just don't know what to do. I sit down and think. When the gizmo starts to hum, it means trouble. It hums for about 20 seconds, then it beeps. Then I get a bit of the nearest person's clothes, and they get a bit of mine. The striped socks must have come from the jogger. I went home with his, and he ran off with mine. I give the on button another press. It makes a squealing noise. I hope I have not made things worse. But I think I have. I must get rid of the gizmo. It just keeps returning to its owner. No, it doesn't. I am not its owner. I am its stealer. And I am in big trouble. Finally, I get it. Finally, I realize what is going on. The gizmo will always return to the person who stole it. I'll have to go back and tell Dad. He will know what to do, but he'll give me a big lecture. He'll go on and on about stealing. I will never hear the end of it. I look around for someone to help. Give me a bit of advice. Down the street I can see a cloud of flies. Under the flies is a tramp. He wears a battered old hat that looks like a half-open can of beans. He has whiskers and an old coat with holes in it, and trousers with the knees showing through. He is whistling, walking along with his dog. The tramp has a kind face. He looks like he's been around, seen a few things. Maybe he can help. Maybe he has come across a gizmo before. I head off in his direction. Hey, I say, have you ever heard of a gizmo? I hold it up for him to see. The tramp gives a grin and shows his yellow teeth. He looks at the gizmo, which begins to hum even louder than before. Oh no, I yell, no, no, no! I turn and start to run down the street. I throw the gizmo into the air. I hear it beep. Suddenly I fall. I trip over my long trousers, the one with the hole in the knee. I tumble along the road and stop in the gutter. I've grazed my knee and it stings terribly. I sit up and see the tramp heading off in the other direction. Thanks, he yelled. Thanks a lot. They're a bit tight, but they'll do. He is wearing my new jeans and my best wind cheater and my shoes. I have a hat on that looks like a half-open can of baked beans, and I'm dressed in a smelly old suit. I look inside. I even have his underpants on. They're all stained and horrible, the sort that your grandfather wears, all floppy and loose. Come back, I scream. Come back, thief. The tramp is moving off as fast as he can go. Thanks, he says again. Thanks a lot. He's chuckling to himself. He thinks it's Christmas, his lucky day, and my unlucky one. I hitch up my old trousers and hobble after him. You wait, I yell. You just wait. It is tough talk, to be honest. I don't know what I'm going to do when I catch him. He looks like he's seen a lot of life. He could flatten me for sure. Still and all, I have to try and get my clothes back. Dad gets really mad if I even tear my shirt. You wouldn't know what he would do if I lost everything. This is really bad. The tramp disappears around a corner. By the time I turn it, he is nowhere to be seen. The street is full of people who are coming out of a church. It's a wedding and all the people are dressed in their best clothes and throwing confetti. He's hiding, I say to myself. The tramp is hiding in the crowd. I start to push through the people, trying to find the tramp. "Go away," sniffs the lady as I push past her legs. "Dreadful boy, smelly, awful. How dare you dress like that at a wedding? Go away." I pretended not to hear. I have to get my clothes back or Dad will kill me. Suddenly I find myself staring at the bride. She's beautiful, lovely, nearly as good as my girlfriend Kate. She wears a veil in her hair and flowers and a long white dress. 2 little kids in purple are holding a long train out at the back. Her new husband is standing next to her, all dressed up to kill. I recognize him. He's the coach of our local football team. At the back is the preacher. His head nearly falls off when he sees me and my outfit. The bride looks at me, and I look at her. She is shocked to see a boy dressed like a tramp. Suddenly, there's a hum. It's coming from my pocket. "No, no, please, no," I scream. The crowd are all looking at me. Everyone falls silent. The gizmo beeps, and the bride is dressed like a tramp. And I am dressed like a bride. She opens her mouth and screams in horror. I open my mouth and scream in horror. We both scream and scream and scream at each other. There's a flash of light. A photographer is taking photos of me. I can't have this. It'll be in the paper. Me, Stephen Wilkins, dressed like a bride. I turn and push my way through the crowd. The open road is in front of me. "Get him," yells someone. "Get the little beggar." They are after me. The preacher, the 2 little page boys in purple, the bride and the groom, the whole crowd. I hobble along as fast as I can. This is no good at all. I can't run fast. They're catching up to me. I bend down and take off my high-heeled shoes. Much better. I bolt along the road with no shoes, but the stones are hurting me. My feet start to bleed. The angry mob is catching up.